There he is,
What's up?
the newest member of the Kentucky Wildcats, Sahvir Wheeler. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling excited. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy that you invited me onto this live, but I'm super thankful, super blessed to be in this position. But I can't wait to get to work.
I know last time, well, let's talk about when we first met. You were at Houston Christian, right?
Yep.
What are the colors of that school, by the way?
They're the same colors as Kentucky. They're white and blue.
Oh, how about that one? You've come around full circle. I
Yeah.
remember watching you on the circuit playing for Rossi Karam. Your
Yep.
dad.
At Basketball University.
Yep. And your dad was on the bench at Rossi, and you guys tore it up a little bit.
Yeah, we did. Especially my last summer. I think we were. Some sites has ranked as a top 10, top 5 team in the country. We were pretty good. We had some pretty good players, and we were winning. So that was super fun experience.
What was your best memory from AAU basketball?
Best memory? That's a good question. Dang, so many. But I think my best memory might have been like my first live period event. You just actually going on stage on the circuit and seeing all those coaches lined up. Like I was committed to A&M, but just seeing Roy Williams, Coach K, my coach, Coach Cal, all the great coaches like in all of college basketball. Just seeing them as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But now to look at it, man, I'm about to play for like the best coach next year. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get started.
You have great experience in the game, obviously playing for 2 years at Georgia and on the circuit and high school basketball out of Houston. Houston has some strong basketball down there.
Yeah.
There's some great athletes. There's some great players that have come out of Houston and the state of Texas. So looking at the next wave of recruits, you talked about your first experience on the circuit. What's some advice that you may give to guys that are going to be rising seniors this year?
Do what's going to get you on the court early. Don't try to reinvent yourself, because at some point in college or maybe in high school, you're going to hit adversity and your confidence is going to get tested. So just stay self-confident, stay believing in yourself, and know what you do. Know what you do well and believe you do it as best as anybody else. So if you're a shooter, believe that you're one of the best shooters. If you're a guy who gets in the paint, know you're one of the best playmakers. If you're a big man, know you're the best rim protector. Because if as long as you're self-confident and you're playing out there with a lot of joy and a lot of swag, man, everything will come to you. You'll be fine.
Do what gets you on the court. I'm gonna steal that from you.
Definitely.
Well, why don't you tell Big Blue Nation and the rest of the people listening what you bring to the game?
I bring excitement. I bring joy. I bring a high level playmaker. I'm a dynamic playmaker. I'm a guy who can get 15 assists in the game. I'm a guy who can also score 20 points in that same game if need be. But perfectly fine with having 6 points, 15 assists, but rebounding on the other end with 7 rebounds and 4 steals. So I'm a guy that can do it all. And as far as I'm also be able to bring now, as an older guy, I'm able to bring some experience at the high major level in a conference that I've already been in, SEC, a conference that I've had success in personally. So I'm gonna know what it takes to win. Seeing that I've seen the teams in the last couple of years and who won the league and what it took, what was good about their teams and how they won the league. I know what Coach Cal has put together that roster. That we're lining up to make a big run. We're lining up to make a big run, not only in the league but in the NCAA tournament as well.
All right, I can feel the excitement coming right through the Instagram Live. It's breathing on me.
Yeah.
Now, you had some great stats. You had some great stats at Georgia. First you led them in assists, 2 years in a row. Last year you set the single season record for assists, 193 for the season. You were 7.4 assists per game. That's technically first in the SEC because Sharif Cooper had 8.1, but he didn't play enough games. So you were dishing out the dimes left and right. you were able to score in double figures a fair amount of time. Obviously, the coverage came at you a little bit harder in your second year than your first year.
Yeah.
What did you learn from your experience at Georgia?
I mean, I think the biggest thing I learned was to be every day. I was always big on everyday guy, but the second year was where it's like, man, it's literally every day. It's every game. It's every practice. And being that leader and a guy that I was, obviously focused on the scout report, I had to be sharp. I had to be sharp for myself. I can make sure I was good, but I had to be sharp for my teammates as well. Because not everybody on the team is going to be as cerebral as the point guard. And it's the point guard's job to make sure everyone knows the coverage, to make sure everyone knows where to go. And I think the second year really, really forced me to get out of my comfort zone and dive more into film and how teams are going to play me, how teams are going to play us, and how I can still attack it and be productive and give us a chance to win. So,
would you say with older guys, the IQ of the game starts to grow as you get older in the game?
Definitely, because some of IQ is being able to not only break down those situations. You got to have experience. You got to know what it feels like to be on the road down 10 and be able to come out and win that game. You got to know what it feels like to be up 20 and a team make a run and cut it to 4 with 3 minutes left, and it's anybody's game now. So you got to. I think experience definitely comes with that, and I think with the experience that we're coming in with the grad transfer, Kellen Grady, with C.J. Frederick, with Oscar, those guys bring experience, and those guys are guys who played at high levels at their high major respective conferences.
Yeah, speaking about up 20, down 10 on the road, what was it like this year versus your first year in college ball when you had all the fans, and this year you didn't have anyone? What was the difference at home? What was the difference on the road?
I feel like sometimes, definitely on home, we were able to have at least, I think it was 17% of our capacity. So at the beginning of the year when the games were like, the non-conference, weaker opponents, I mean, it was like, man, I can hear them, the ball bouncing. I'm like, dang, the ball's way too loud. I'm not supposed to be hearing the ball, so I'm hearing people. But towards the SEC play, we had fans there. Everyone, it kind of felt like high school.
Right.
Man, we have a solid crowd out here. We can definitely hear them in the big games. Like the Missouri game was a big one. The LSU was a big one for us. Even Kentucky, a fair amount of people came out to that game. So, I mean, that definitely helped. But the away games was like, man, you had to find a way to create our own juice bench, because there is no haters or heckling fans to get you motivated. Like, all right, man, I'm about to bring it on. There is no crowd, like cheering for you. There is no like Georgia fans traveling. So you have to create your own juice. You have to find a way to get yourself motivated and stay together as a team.
Would you rather have 20,000 people heckling you or an empty gym on the road?
I'd rather have 20,000 people heckling me than
You would?
Yeah. The heckling to me, it brings out it brings the best out of you. Because no one wants to hear all that and not perform. That makes you want to perform at your ultimate best. As a competitor, that's what I look for. And so that makes the game fun. It makes the game entertaining, and the competitive and all the adrenaline is at the highest at that point.
Well, speaking of fun, you got a fun roster to play with next year.
Yeah.
You talked about Grady, C.J. Frederick, guys who can shoot the ball. And Damian Collins, a great shot blocker, only a freshman. Maybe he'd rather have an empty gym on the road next year. Those freshmen don't handle the crowd too well their first time around. You know that.
Yeah.
Bryce Hopkins can really score from the high post, and he's a highly competitive kid like yourself. Mm-hmm. You got Ty Washington coming in. Have you had a chance to talk to any of these guys, before you made the move?
I talked to Ty a little bit after his commitment. He was like, "Man, what's the move? What's the move?" So we had a few conversations, a few text messages back and forth on DM. But I know he's super excited. I know that's been the big question, but I think we're going to be able to complement each other really well. Coach Cal's played with 2 point guards before, and Ty isn't a selfish player. He's unselfish. No. He can shoot and he can score. And when I have that around me, we're both gonna benefit from each other, because I'm gonna be able to make plays for him and he's gonna be able to make plays for me. So
he's a leader as a freshman. I mean, obviously your leadership skills are more advanced because you've been in the game a little bit longer. But he's a very highly productive combo guard, if you will. He can play either position, and he's willing to play either position. How about this stat for Ty Washington in high school last year? You ready? He took 63 charges.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean,
I don't think I've taken 63 charges in my life.
Well, we're gonna have to talk to Coach Teddy about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about Coach Teddy, not Dad Teddy, because your dad worked one of my basketball camps in Houston.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. He was fantastic. I mean, the kids just gravitated towards him. Super organized, high IQ for the game, good teacher. He's got that energy like you have. But tell me about Teddy. Tell me about Teddy Wheeler, the coach.
I mean, you kind of just described it right there as far as just having high level intensity and energy. I think he does a great job of mixing intensity with having the greatest attention to detail, setting a high expectation, but also making it fun. Dudes want to play for him. People want to be around him because my dad's always been the coach, Coach Teddy. He's always been a big thing on, I'm going to scream your accomplishments, but whisper to you your criticism or criticism. So when we're in the game and you got a mismatch, he's saying, go at him, kill him. Yes, sir, make that. But when you do something wrong, he's going to pull you over and whisper to you, yo, you got to tighten up. Hey, that was your blockout. Yo, you got to guard. You can't let your man beat you off the dribble. He won't never tell anyone. You'll never be able to tell that you're getting constructive feedback or constructive criticism. And I think he's done the best job with that. And he puts players in position to where they're going to be the best.
Yeah, no, I love that about shouting the praise and whispering the criticism in detail. But it's in detail. It's not just play harder. He'll get specific why guys have to do things. I can see him on a college bench someday. What about you?
I definitely can. And I know after my brother goes through it, and I have a younger brother that's undecided whether he's going to do sports or not. But after them, he's going to definitely try to get to that college level. I want to see him there. For sure.
All right, let's talk about the coach you're going to play for, John Calipari.
Yeah, Coach Cal. I mean, he's a big time. He's a big time coach. Obviously, his resume speaks for itself. But just from the conversations that we've had on Zoom and on text messages and over the phone, the biggest thing that's been standing out to me is just his personality and his spirit for people. And it is one thing he kind of just said briefly, but I think it really hit home to me. Was that every game, every day, any Kentucky player that was involved in any game in the NBA or pro or whatever, the stat sheet, the box score is sent. And he goes through every game. He goes through each player and he texts the player what they need. So whether it's Julius Randle getting a triple-double, he's like, man, keep going. But whether if it's a guy that's struggling or maybe like someone like Tyra Hill who hasn't had the best year, he's constantly calling him, giving him words of encouragement.
Wow.
I mean, not every coach is going to do that. That just shows how he cares about you genuinely on a personal level. He wants to see you succeed. He wants what's best for you, and he's going to push you for that. And so, I mean, that really struck home with me, and just how honest he was. I mean, he knew he gave me his plan, what the expectation was. I mean, Kentucky is not some regular school. It's
not.
The highest level. It's the bluest of blues. So. And just how he was with my parents. I mean, my parents, they're not very easily swayed. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna hand over my firstborn son to anybody. So I think he left a really, really good first impression with them. He took the time to get to know them. He had my mom on the Zoom, had a conversation with her, asking her different questions. Obviously, he's gonna have a conversation with my dad. So I think he's really genuine. And man, he's a lot more than just a basketball coach who coaches NBA players.
That's a great way to say it. So how are you going to handle the expectations that come with Kentucky basketball?
I mean, I think some of those expectations align with my own. Just as far as having a winning pedigree, a winning mindset, getting to the Final Four, winning a national championship. Being in the biggest stage, playing in the biggest games, in the biggest lights with the best players, that's all right up my alley. That's what I live for as a competitor. as a basketball player, even outside of basketball, I always want to be around the best, because you are what you surround yourself with. So I'm ready for all the expectation. I really am, and I just can't wait to get started. And I know when that first jump ball at Madison Square Garden this year, it's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a show.
Now, what are you going to do to improve your game? Because when I look at your numbers, just your analytics, not your stats, but your analytics, your assist-to-turnover ratio was not good. We talked about that before. Your shooting percentages were good as a freshman, but they dipped a little bit as a sophomore, except for your free throw shooting. Your free throw shooting bumped up, I think 75%.
Yep.
So break down maybe what you're going to work on in the offseason.
Yeah. Obviously, the shooting consistency, that's been a super big thing. Just having a repeatable motion. Sometimes I would originate my shot from a different spot, whether it be on the right side of my body and ending up on the left. That's too much room for it. So the offseason, I've been really focused on getting to my left side, one smooth pass, same release point. So I've been working on shooting every single day. And as far as the assist-to-turnover ratio, just looking back at the film, I had a couple unforced turnovers early in the year that
Sure.
got better at as the year went on, like stepping on the sideline, driving baseline, stepping on that baseline, like a couple passes where I thought my teammate would know where to go, and I kind of threw it, hoping he was like, "Come on, Sahvir, don't throw it to him unless you know he's there."
Right.
And the urgency of which Coach Powell is going to coach me, I know he's not going to let me get away with some of those that I might have gotten away with past at Georgia. So that's all stuff that's super correctable, and I know that I'm going to get that for sure. And efficiency, I think some of it just had to do with I had a huge playmaking load at Georgia, just as far as trying to make every play. I wanted to start every possession, and I know with that, there's going to come sometimes where the play just isn't there, and I just try to make something out of nothing, whether it was at the end of the shot clock or, playing a little too fast at times. But that's all stuff I got better at throughout the year and towards the end of the year. So I'm looking to build on that, keep watching film, and finding different ways to still play fast but still have times where I slow down and make split-second decisions. So
would you say as you get older, you continue to play with intensity, but the game slows down in your mind a little bit?
Yep.
Is that a good way to describe it?
That's a great way of putting it.
And I think you're going to help Kentucky in a lot of ways, but fast break points. I don't know what Kentucky at 9-16. I can't imagine they got a lot of fast break opportunities, or points even. But I think you're going to bring a faster pace. That guys are going to have to run with Sahvir Wheeler. Because if they don't run, you're going to get to the rim yourself. And if they run, whether it's wide to the wing or to the rim on a diagonal cut for a layup, you're going to hit them and find them. I think Kentucky can score some fast break points next year, with you leading the charge. And at times, Ty Washington pushing it, and you're running the wing. I mean, it's interchangeable between you two.
Yep. I agree with all that. And I think another thing that's going to be able to showcase is my defensive side.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell everybody about your defense, man.
Yeah. I think that's more I haven't been able to show in college yet. I mean, I did early on at Georgia, early on in my freshman year, just so I could, establish myself as a guy who could guard the ball and get on the court early. I'm a guy who could, make plays and guard the ball. But this past year, I didn't get to it as much as I wanted to. But next year, one of my personal goals is to make the all-SEC defensive team. And,
okay.
I think that comes with leading steals. So my on-ball defense, full court, I'm harassing guys, being a pesky defender, getting in the help, passing lane, trying to rip a guy or two early in the game, so he can have some pressure on myself. If I rip a guy within the first 3 possessions, it's like, oh man, I gotta run the action early, and I just turned it over. Dang. So the defensive side is something I'm definitely looking forward to showcasing, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with that.
Now, when you say that, and it sounds great, it's convincing. So, on the unseen hours in the gym, tell everybody who's listening, what do you do to be all defensive player? Play one-on-one, defensive slides? How much time do you have to practice just sitting in your stance and staying in your stance?
Yeah. playing one-on-one is the biggest thing because you can practice defensive slide, but that doesn't replicate game movement.
Right.
Offense is unpredictable. I can't tell the offense, okay, go 2 dribbles and then cross over.
Right.
So I think the one-on-one thing is something I do constantly, every day.
Okay.
That's playing guards because there's gonna be times where you got to switch. So I'm playing against 6'8" wings. I'm playing against switch on big. In the 4-on-4 offensive games we play. So obviously some of the wings, Miller Kopp 6'8" from Indiana. He's been in the gym with us. We've had Abdul from Oregon State. He's a wing. Cam McGusky from Miami. Those are the dudes I'm guarding. And the bigs, obviously, bigs like Tom McMillan, who's at Georgia. He comes back home since we're from the same city, guarding him in the post on the switch. Some of the other high school bigs that are going to college next year. And obviously, we always have Division I point guards in our gym. So I'm getting a lot of reps with those. So that's how you work. You got to play one-on-one. You got to put yourself in scenarios and situations where you got to guard something that's outside of position, a bigger, a faster, a stronger.
Yeah, that's a great point because drills are good, but like you said, you do defensive slides. That just gets your muscles trained to slide. You can't predict when you play one-on-one when a guy's going to pull it on you, when he's going to drive, shot fake, and that creates your one-on-one defensive habits. I think you're going to bring a lot of leadership because you've always been a leader, even in high school, and then you had a chance to be a leader at Georgia. And I think you're going to bring that experience and leadership to a team that really needs it. Now, Ty Washington is a good leader, too. He's a freshman, but he's going to bring I think together you guys are going to have some good leadership qualities in the backcourt. Do you watch – we'll wrap it up here, but do you watch any film of anyone? You remind me in some ways of a guy I coached at a basketball camp for a week. His name was Isaiah Thomas. Not the old school Isaiah Thomas, the new school guy, only because I'm not that old. But Isaiah Thomas, I had him for a week, and we were at the ABCD camp in 2008, I believe. And, there were all kinds of great players. But Isaiah was my point guard. And, in a camp setting, led our team to a 7-0 record. I know it's only camp, but everybody was high level. He has that type of ability. Do you watch film of someone? Do you remind yourself of anyone?
Yeah, actually, he's one of the guys that I watched a ton when I was younger, and his days in Boston where he was an MVP candidate. But him, I watched a lot of him. Damon Stoudemire when he was at Arizona.
Oh, great player. Great player.
Kenny Anderson at Georgia Tech. And just the flashiness and confidence of Brandon Jennings when he was at Oak Hill in his rookie year when he gave Steph 55. So those are the main 4 guys that I kind of model or kind of watch growing up.
Let me ask you a question. So if you're coming in on a break, you're going to throw it off the backboard like Brandon Jennings and bounce it off the backboard and then maybe somebody catches it? Because if not, I know it's going to be all over your butt.
Depending if I look back there and see Oscar, I might have to throw it. But if I look back there and see CJ, I might have to just take the layup.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned Oscar Tshiebwe, but just a bruising post inside. One of the best rebounders in college basketball. Your roster is going to be exciting. You're going to help make Kentucky basketball exciting. This was fun. I wish you the best. We're going to follow you this season in the SEC. Last words for Kentucky fans that are listening?
Big Blue Nation, I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to get started. I'm excited. Hope to bring Kentucky basketball back to where it deserves, at greatness, nothing less. I'm excited to get to work, and I'm excited to meet everyone there, and hopefully at full capacity and have Rupp Arena rocking. All
right. The latest, greatest from Sahvir Wheeler, the newest Kentucky Wildcat. All the best, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.